Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos. We have obviously a large family, and so a lot of the content that I put out there is for large family life, large family travel, etc. This is a very impromptu video that I decided to do kind of last minute as I am making a Walmart run. We were traveling in Colorado week before, actually the last 2 weeks, and we got into a fender bender, and we had to get a rental car. So we were actually out of state when we got into our fender bender, and we were in New Mexico, and I knew kind of off the bat that it might be kind of hard to get a rental for the size that we need, but we were able to get one. So what we got was the Transit. I want to also point out real quick that if you are needing a rental for a 12 or 15 passenger, typically you will find those at the Enterprise, the van and truck rentals. They will usually not be at your regular Enterprise stores or Enterprise rentals. Those they typically save the cars for those locations and just normal size cars, which is obviously not us. So I just wanted to show you real quick. There's not much on the outside to show. We got a 12 passenger Ford Transit. So I know I will link my video that shows our current car, which is the NV Passenger van. They currently do not make those anymore, but you can obviously buy them used still, and a lot of people really want those. I will say though, I'm going to kind of compare the two and tell you we've only had this a day, but I want to kind of go over what I think are some strong points about this one and some not so strong points. The outside is kind of a negative. I am not a huge fan of the outside of the car, the look of the Transit. I knew that from the very beginning because when we were looking at cars, and it was pretty much this one, it was the passenger van, or it was the Mercedes, I think, the Sprinter, and the Transit, just the little bitty wheels, and like I said, I look like I could be delivering packages. It's just not, I don't know, it's not very attractive. So I absolutely love the outside of, I call it our bus, our NV Passenger van. I love it. It looks like a truck. It drives like a truck. I don't feel like I said, like I am hauling people around trying to drop them off at the airport. I don't feel like I am, hauling packages around. I genuinely feel like I'm driving a truck, and I love it. So in a comparison with those two, with the Transit and the passenger van, that is the main difference. And ideally, that's the look that I wanted, was just a bigger, bulkier car. It is harder to drive than this one. This rides very smooth. The Transit rides very smooth. That is not as smooth because it's just kind of clunkier, but that's okay to me. So I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so kind of just right off the bat, it looks a little bit different on the inside. Obviously, the front end is different. The windows are shaped different. Everything kind of points down in the Transit. If you obviously would probably know that if you were looking at these vehicles before. I do like, it does have a backup camera. I do not find it necessary. It's right here. I do not find it necessary for a backup camera because I'm just used to mine now. So I haven't even looked at the backup camera as I'm backing up, to be honest, in this car. So that's not a big deal to me. But for some of you who really want a backup camera, it is there, at least in this one. Another point, which let me flip it for a second. The air conditioning on the Nissan Passenger van is pretty awful. That is a negative that pretty much you will find anywhere if you Google the Nissan Passenger van. The flow of the air in the back is awful. We have had to buy little mini fans for the 2 rows behind us, or the two far back rows, because it is so bad. And in 100-degree weather in Texas, and it just is not ideal. This car gets cold, and there is no, in this particular one, there is no, the windows are not tinted, so the sun is blaring through and it is still cool. Like, my kids were cold in the back row, and I'll show you in a second, but there's also obviously more vents at the top. There are 3 rows in our passenger van, but it just, the airflow, you can get like adapters, you can get things to change out the flow and all the whatever equipment to make it better. But if you buy it from a dealership and they have not fixed it, your air is going to be horrible. We have just learned to deal with it because it is what it is, but I just wanted to point that out, that the Transit's airflow, air conditioned flow, is night and day with the NV passenger van. Okay, again, so we have a console here, right here in our Nissan. There is nothing here. There's not even, we have a towel here from the car seats. There is not even a space for it. So I don't even think it was taken out. There is nothing here. That is ideal for, sorry guys, I don't have my little tripod thing handy because I was not expecting to do a video. That makes it easy, obviously, to go in the back. That is one plus. We have the giant console in our Nissan, and it is hard when you are trying to go back there, whether you're, in a passenger seat or whatnot, to go check on the kids or buckle a kid or whatever it may be. So there's actually one seat missing because, I don't know, for whatever reason, but this should be a 12 passenger. So 2 in the front, 3 here, 3 there, and then 4 in the back row. And so as you can see, we have the vents up front, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of vents at the top. This is not a high top, but it's about as high as our other one. These, I do not know offhand what seats come out. These right behind me, it looks like they are connected, but obviously the ones in the row behind, that one is taken out. The back, it looks to have a lot more storage. There is quite a bit more storage behind that back row. That is one negative about the Nissan. There is not much storage at all. None of these windows open. I don't believe the ones in the back do. No. On the Nissan, one opens. This one right here opens very slightly, like just a very minuscule amount. You can open the window. You cannot do that in here. These doors are different. The sliding door is what you get with the passenger van, with the Nissan, and for the Ford, these are 2 double doors that you have to close one at a time. Car seats, we have some booster seats. We have a lot of booster seats right now because we didn't take all the car seats out of my old car. So I just have the infant one and then one other one here. You have to just kind of be careful where you put them because sometimes the attachments or the extras that that you use to hook in the car seats are not in all of the seats, obviously. What else? This obviously is a little bit different than the Nissan van. I feel like the vents are obviously a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit more. I mean, this is pretty basic here besides the backup camera. So really, there's not too much difference. We got a very basic model. We got a very basic model for, the most basic model you could get with our Passenger, our Nissan van, and it was fine for us. We did switch our seats to leather. This one is fabric, obviously, which would not work with our family, but for a rental car, it's fine. I'm trying to think of anything else that's kind of it. Like I said, it drives a lot smoother. It is not. I don't feel like it's as much like effort for it to go, if that makes any sense. The gas mileage seems to be better as well. I have not filled this up. And really, the Nissan is not horrible. I mean, I think, in all honesty, if you had a Tahoe or a Suburban or an Expedition, you would be paying more for gas, because that's just in knowing people that have those cars and knowing how much they've paid for gas, I can guarantee you that what we pay for our Nissan is less. And so really the gas, it is what it is. I mean, I have not, like I said, I have not filled this up, so I don't know how much it actually takes to fill it up completely. But it seems to get better gas mileage. It tells you how much is left before you get to empty. I don't think our Nissan does that. Maybe it does. Yes, it does. I think it like stops though at like 40 miles, which maybe this one does too. I don't know, but it seems to get better gas mileage. A lot more legroom also. With, you know, my husband, if he's sitting in the passenger seat, there is just back and forth, but just so I can show you, there is not much legroom for him there, but here there is a lot more legroom. It's not as like closed in, it feels like. So that is a plus. So overall, like I said, we've only had this a day. I am surprised at how well I like the driving aspect of it. The looks, I don't think I'll ever change my opinion on that. I don't think that it is, I don't want to say fashionable, that is not the right word, because I don't, you know, for a 12 passenger van, like how fashionable can you actually be? It doesn't feel like you are driving a large vehicle. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions that you want me to answer, you want me to look at on this. I know my Nissan Passenger van is by far my most popular video, and I think that's because so many people realize that there are only a few options for this size of vehicle. And so when you have 2 and 3 choices, you know, you want to look at, you know, what all the differences are between them. So if there's anything that you want me to look at or you have a question about, just let me know. I don't know how long I will have this car, honestly. Our other car, I mean, it got a lot of damage, but it's not like, I think it'll be a lot quicker than I anticipated, I'm hoping. So anyway, let me know down below if you have any questions, or if you have a Transit and, you know, because my husband's like, maybe we should trade it in for a Transit. No, I'm not there. I just really like the feel of my Nissan and the truck feel and the big clunky feeling of it. I don't know. I just feel better driving it. But let me know if you have any questions, if you have changed from a Nissan to a Ford or vice versa. And let me know down below. Thanks, guys. I will see you guys next time. Take care.